Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna do some real talk about moving overseas, more precisely studying overseas. So I moved overseas a few times, but I moved to Australia to study twice. The first time was 2011, second time was January 2015. But if you want to see more about like how I ended up here, just click over there because I just made a video about that as well. But now we're gonna just talk about the reality of it, because I feel like a lot of people, they think it's just easy, you just kind of do it. And like on social media, like actually some people like the last few weeks, they actually told me, oh, but it seems like it goes so easy for you. No, it's not. But it's just, I don't put that all out there. So I figured in this one video, well, I wouldn't say being negative, but being real and talk about like the struggles and stuff as well. I wanted to see it, kind of give people like a realistic perspective of what it's like. So obviously, first of all, just the moving. I guess it depends on your situation. But first time I moved was I moved to Townsville when I was 18. I just turned 18 like 2 months or something before. So I moved to Townsville and I didn't know anyone. No one. So at the time I didn't even have accommodation stuff figured out. By nature, I'm a really kind of shy person. And I don't really go up to people, like strangers, and like talk to them. But I figured this would be an opportunity to get over that. So I was like, well, I want to go overseas and I'm not gonna let that stop me. So I'm just gonna go. So that's what I did. I moved here all by myself. At the time, there were there had been a cyclone and stuff in Townsville. There was flooding and all that stuff. I didn't have accommodation. Eventually, I posted something on like a website thing for people that were moving to Australia, and this Dutch girl that was gonna go to the same university as me contacted me, and I stayed with her for a few weeks because I didn't have anywhere to go. So that kind of helped, but then like I had to find a place to live. So yeah, but also, so you're leaving your friends and family behind. So for me, I don't really get homesick, but I never really felt like at home, or I don't know how to explain it, in Holland. So I didn't want to stay there. So I left, and I've been pretty okay. I don't really get homesick that much. Like of course you miss your family and stuff sometimes, but I still like talk to them regularly on Skype, and yeah, so all of that. My mom actually came to visit me in January, so like 3 months ago. So that was really good. Yeah, so I came here all by myself, and then I had to find a place to live, which is a bit difficult if you don't know the area. So I feel like it went a bit easier when I was here. Like now I'm here in Brisbane, but like in Townsville it was a bit hard because I don't drive. So in Townsville you kind of need a car because public transport really sucks. So I found like a suburb closest to the it was closest to the university. I actually met a girl at the international office when I was at the university, and she was like, she looked at this place and she said they had another room available. So I gave them my number, I called them, and yeah, so we ended up living together. So that was actually really good. So there was 6 of us, and no one was originally from Townsville, so everyone moved there by themselves, and everyone was in the first year of university. So it was kind of like, yeah, we're all by ourselves, so we'll just hang out together. So it was kind of like a little family, and I'm still in touch with some of them. So yeah, eventually the accommodation was really good. Like once I got a place, your family's back home, and what if something happens to your family or you need to go home? Like at this point, if something would happen back home, like I'm sure if I really have to go home, like if something happens to my mom or something, I can find a way to get the money to go home. But like if someone, grandparents or someone dies or gets really sick, I don't even know if I can go home because it is expensive. And I guess it depends also on where you are, where you're moving to, because I'm in Australia, pretty much you can't go any further. So it's really expensive. And besides that, with the degree I'm currently doing, I can't just leave. Like because I do prac, so I need to do like placement stuff in the hospital, and I can't miss those shifts. I have compulsory days that I'm only allowed to miss like one. And if I have to go home for like a funeral or something, I'm gonna be gone for at least 2 weeks, and there's no way I can make up for it, so I have to redo the whole thing. And then I can't still go to next semester because I have to finish the semester before I can continue the next one, and then my whole student visa is gonna be cancelled, so I have to like go home or something for a year and then come back, which is crazy. And it's just very expensive. So that's the main thing I'm gonna like kind of talk about now. Money. So money, yeah, things in life would be so much easier if there was no money, but there is, unfortunately. So realistically, I'm just gonna talk like general numbers right now for Australia, because people are like, yeah, so how do you like, how expensive is it? And it's freaking expensive. So just to compare to the other girls I'm studying with that are Australian, they pay I think it's like $1,000 per like course, and we do 4 courses per semester, so you do 8 a year. I pay $4,000 per course. I pay 4 times as much as them. In general, depending on what kind of degree you're doing or where you're going to study, because some universities are a bit more expensive than others, you're looking at, as an international student, probably between $20,000 and $40,000 a year. Yeah, let that sink in, people. Let that sink in. Most degrees here are 3 years. Mine is 4 because I'm doing a double bachelor. So I'm like, well, it's an extra year, but then I have 2 degrees. But yeah, let that sink in. Like 20 to 40,000 a year. Yeah, and how do you pay for that? So on a student visa, you're allowed to work 20 hours a week during university hours. During holidays, you can work full-time. In Holland, we have like this kind of I'll just call it a student loan. They kind of changed the rules recently, but I'm lucky because I'm still in like I'm still under like the old rules. So once I graduate, I don't have to pay all the money back, but I do have to pay most of it back. So what I did, so it's based on your parents' income. So both my parents couldn't really pay for any of it, so basically it all came down to me. So based on your parents' income, they give you a certain amount, and then also they look at how much your fees are and stuff like that, and then certain things you can get more because you're going overseas. It's really complicated. You can take an extra loan, which I did. So yeah, I'm gonna be in debt after this. But to me, I'd rather be in debt and actually happy than be miserable and not be in debt. So personally, if I'm in Holland for like more than 3 months, I get really like kind of depressed and stuff. So I'm kind of glad that I'm not living there, and I kind of appreciate it more now. If I go back, I'm like, oh, it's not as bad. But then when 3 months pass, I'm like, yeah, I want to leave. Yeah, so it is very expensive. So obviously I worked a lot before I went. Also, another very important thing as an international student, you need to pay each semester up front. So yeah, So you pay, say your degree is like 30,000 a year, you have to pay 15,000 upfront before you even start. Yeah, so it's not as easy as people think it is. I got some comments that people were like, so I think we went to the Gold Coast or something. I don't remember who said it, but like one of the girls was like, because by then I'd been here for a little over a year and I hadn't been to the Gold Coast yet. And they were like, that's crazy. How have you not been here yet? Because you've been here over a year. I'm like, yeah, because I need to pay rent. I need to pay like $30,000 a year in uni fees. So I'm sorry if I can't afford to go on a trip. But that's also the downside, because obviously if you move overseas you want to see the country, but then you don't have money. So yeah, that makes it a bit more difficult. So yeah, it is expensive, but I feel like if you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to get there. At least that's what I did. So yeah, I'm here now, and yeah, it's so crazy. I'm already in my second year, and yeah, I really love what I'm doing. I really love being here, so it was all worth it to me. So yeah, I think this is how I'm gonna end the video for now. If you have any more questions or any comments, or you want to add anything, or you have experience moving to different other countries to study, please let me know in the comments or send me an email. Also, please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you next time. Bye! Today I figured I am gonna talk about how I ended up here in Australia. I always said I wanted to move overseas, and obviously as a 9-year-old you don't really know